Hi and welcome to the second in this special series all week talking about things that I learnt while I was at Social Media Marketing World over at the conference. Could I have some more water please? 'Cause I always get a dry throat when I'm talking. And I haven't got a bot to sort out my water intake yet. And I forgot. And that's one of the things that bots are good for, reminding you to do stuff. So we're going to be talking about the bots. Please don't think that I am a bot expert. I'm totally not. And if you are a geek who's into bots, please get in touch because I'd love to chat about them, especially about the chatbots, and talk about... The thing is, right, it's a bit like space travel. I've never been to space, but I'm absolutely fascinated by it. And it's the same with the bots. I'm not 100% sure how they work and all that technology. I'm not a technological geek in that sense. But oh my God, I'm so excited about how they are going to transform the world that we live in. And I can see, and I've been trying to think this morning how it's going to affect our businesses, particularly in that fitness and wellness zone. The Fitness zone, that's a new one. I've been trying to layer it onto, because it's the same with any kind of new technology, you know, each industry has its own way of dealing with the technology and how they use it in their business. I mean, God, you know, movies, because along with bots comes the whole virtual reality, augmented reality, you know, all of the technology, the way it's going in the future. And when I say the future, I just mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of changes in the next 10 years or so, but also it's kind of like in our lifetime, in 20, 40 years time, things are going to be completely different in that social media marketing place, in the business world, completely different, because you've got social media, which is just very early days, you know, first decade of social media. And now you've got the bots coming, you've got virtual reality coming. It's just, it's one of those kind of industrial revolutions, isn't it? Where the whole world changes. We're tipping on the axis now. And some people are dragging their heels and don't want to get on board with it. But you can't stop it. This is a runaway train that you're never going to stop. And already you can see that it's started to infiltrate your homes. You have things like, well, Siri on your phone, for example. You know, if you're in a foreign city and you don't know where you're going, and you can just ask Siri where are the best restaurants, you know, around, and Siri will help you find it. What's the weather like today, Siri? Rather than look out the window. And it's just moving on. You know, you've got Alexa in the home now, and they can play music, give you the traffic reports, news, sports. But the thing that fascinates me more than anything, and the bots, as they are, even at this present moment in time, we can use them and use them in our businesses to a certain extent. But what really, really excites me and fascinates me is the fact that these bots that are coming are designed to be more intelligent. So the more information you give them and the more practice they have at talking, the more humanized they become and the more intelligent they become. So they will change their conversational tone to fit the people that they're talking to. So there's one called Mitsuko chatbot. Well, now actually she's not even a chatbot. She's like the first artificial intelligence living on the web. And so I talked about her when I got back. I talked about her at San Diego in my report from the keynote that was like a panel of people talking about the bots. And so Mitsuko, I have had a couple of conversations with her. She's quite funny. I think she's got attitude. She's one of these intelligent ones that kind of changes as you go along with her. And actually on one day she'll say one thing and on another day she'll say another thing. I tried to get in there this morning and I don't know if it's my computer or if she's not working at the minute. Maybe she's having a day off. Maybe she's gone shopping. Who knows? But I don't know if something's gone wrong with her. But she's not talking to me anyway. So I'm downloading my flash drive to see if that helps, and I'm going to have another chat with her later. But if you haven't had a go yet, find her on the internet. She's the first artificial intelligence living on the internet, and you can ask her anything, and she'll answer it for you. She won't always give you the answer that you want, and it's like a proper conversation. I told her she got attitude, and that led to quite an interesting discussion. So just treat her like a human. It's really funny. So Mitsuku chatbot, if you Google it, she'll come up. And there's all these different options that you can have to talk to her. You can just like type, or you can have music playing in the background, or you can talk to her if your flash is working. So that's one thing you can do. The other thing is these messenger bots in Facebook, and I built a bot. Can you believe it? I don't know what I'm doing, but I built one for my Facebook page. It was quite easy. I just used this software called, let me get it right, I think it's ManyChat. Yeah, manychat.com, and it's just automation. Now, for you guys working in the fitness and wellness world, I think this is kind of where we can utilize it to our advantage, because we often say a lot of the same things. So what I did was I set it up so that anybody that follows me on my Facebook page, they immediately get a message in Messenger, and it's like, hey, welcome, all the usual stuff. And then also I do give them the option of downloading my free gift, which at the moment is this beautiful calendar with all the fitness and wellness and events days. It's not just for fitness and wellness, it could be for any business really, but it's a 2017 calendar full of events so that you can use it to plan your content marketing. So I offer them the chance to download that, and it also gets them on my list. And so it's a new way of growing a list. So I had some new people last week, which is very exciting. There was, you know, nothing to write home about. There wasn't loads of them, but I grew my list last week using bots doing the work for me. So that's quite exciting. And also I think, you know, we've been using lead pages a lot, squeeze pages just generally. We use Aweber, MailChimp. You know, all these software components that cost us money all the time, depending on how big your list is. So it's stuff that is costing us a lot of money, and I can see that in the future the bots are going to be able to do that job for us. So if you're paying, you know, thousands for stuff like Infusionsoft, I think this is going to be a much cheaper, if not freer option, and very efficient as well, and more humanized. So I think that's a really interesting area that we should all be paying attention to, because it's going to save us money. Obviously it's going to save us time, because automation does save us time, and that's why we already use elements like that, you know, the software system to email, I don't know, 1,000 people all at one go. We certainly haven't got time to sit there and email 1,000 people, so we already use the CRM systems. But I think this is just going to make that even faster for us. So I think it's going to save time, and because they've had the run of the mill for a long time, I think there are going to be, at the moment, there's free options. There are free options out there, so you can jump on that bandwagon and save yourself a few quid, book a holiday in the Bahamas. And so I really like that idea. I think we can use that for our business. Also, there is a company called, let me get this right for you. Oops, stuck myself in the eye. Have I written it down? Yeah. X.AI, and they're quite a new company, and you can hire a VA, a virtual assistant. And when I say virtual assistant, it's not like some woman working in a different country. This is a bot, and she will schedule meetings for you. Now, I don't know how advanced that bot is, because I know a lot of you use, you know, quite a complicated system to book your classes. So if you own a gym, for example, yeah, it's probably hundreds of classes over the week or over the months, and people would be booking on and off, and same with Pilates studios and on all of those. So at the minute you're probably investing quite a few £1,000s a year in these systems, and let's face it, I haven't come across a good one yet. I use TimeTrade to schedule my appointments. I don't have an awful lot of appointments this year because I'm working in a different format. But when I was doing my one-to-one clients, that would often go wrong. Even now it's gone wrong because the clocks have gone forwards or back or whatever they did. And so I've got to go in there and manually fix that. So I'm not happy. That's the job that I've got to put on my schedule for today. So with this VA, she will schedule appointments for you, and if they get cancelled, she will reschedule them for you as well. So I really like the idea of the fact that we can have an assistant who is a bot, and an intelligent assistant at that. So if something gets cancelled, it doesn't just get left. She will go and rebook. So I think in the future, we will be able to have virtual assistants that are probably a lot cheaper than our assistants. I don't even look at my assistant at the minute. Don't worry, there'll be other jobs for you to do. And I think the role of the secretary is a little bit dead. It's interesting how it's all coming about, because I was talking to somebody that I met in San Diego about a friend of hers who does Pitman shorthand, and I grew up as a reporter doing shorthand. I didn't do Pitman, I did T-line. And it is definitely a skill that never goes away. It's a bit like riding a bike. You can jump on it, and I did use it at the conference, you know, when the speakers were speaking quite fast, because it's shorthand, so you can do it in code. And so I did take some notes in shorthand, and it's a very useful skill for me to have. How I would use that in this modern world, I do not know. And we were trying to think how we could use it for this woman who's got this Pitman certification. And nowadays, if I want something transcribing or whatever, or even translating, I can get it done like that by a bot. And so I use rev.com, for example, to do all the captions on my videos, and it's done within seconds. And not only that, they then give me a printout of all of the conversation, and then I can then take that and use that as a blog in seconds. So why would I pay somebody £10 an hour to do that? It's £1 a minute with rev.com. So you can see that things are coming down in price. The robots or the bots are going to be doing those kind of manual tasks that need doing, that we haven't got time to do, and they're going to be able to do it a lot faster than a human could do. Also with translating, let's say you need something translating, I was really fascinated to hear the speakers talking about this, about how Google Translate has emerged over the last 6 months. Because if you've ever played with Google and gone, you know, from French to English, and it comes out completely wrong, like weird words in there, it's quite funny. What Google have done is create their own language. So now they take it from French to Google, Google to English, and it's much more accurate. So if you haven't had a play with Google Translate for a long time, have a go. You know, they've created a whole blooming language. So it's bound to be good, and it's a great platform for this future as we go into the future of what they can do. So, you know, jobs like getting you to transcribe or translate, where they used to take a person. I mean, God, if I hired somebody to do that, they might say to me, yeah, I'll have that ready for you by next Tuesday. And it's like, man, I need it now. It's got to go all over social media. And so it's speeded up that process. And it's a fraction of the cost, 1/10 of the cost, really. At least, because, I mean, God, some secretaries are on quite a lot of money. So I think jobs like that, it will be interesting. I think a lot of us are going to be using kind of virtual assistants to do a lot of the jobs that we're having to do at the minute, or that our assistants are having to do. And then that frees us up to either have more free time, which is brilliant, or more time to strategize and create your own things. So I think, you know, time and money are the two big savings here. The other thing I wanted to talk about before I finish up today was that at the conference they talked about the fact that there was going to be 4 jobs left in the world. One is entertainment, so you're always going to have your actors, your comedians, you know, your stars of the show. They're always going to be there. So entertainment. Sales, you're always going to need salesmen because we're a consumer society, we buy stuff. But then the other 2 jobs, and I think there's a 5th, one is the robots telling you what to do, and to a certain extent you might think no robot's going to tell me what to do, but they are already. If you use Facebook adverts, this is what the panel were talking about at the keynote speech at Social Media Marketing World. The robots in Facebook have already trained you to use Facebook in a certain way to get noticed, because the algorithm is in play. And so you are already being trained by robots. Get over it. I love it. Do you know what? They make our life easier, and they help us. So that's one thing, robots telling you what to do. The other thing is that you telling robots what to do. So for example, if you were to hire a PA or somebody just to take over the scheduling of your system, that is you telling a robot what to do. That robot, when it is an intelligent bot, will then learn how to do that job better. And then that leads on to the fifth one, which they did talk about at the conference, but it wasn't actually one of the four that they were listing, and that is collaboration. And I love to collaborate, so I work with a lot of people in the fitness and wellness world and marketing world, and I'd love to collaborate with a bot, and they can do a lot of the work for you, like I was just explaining. So let's say we do a video and we want to put that all over social media, including a blog post. The bot, I would say to the bot, oh, could you please go and transcribe that for me, because I want to put it on LinkedIn or medium.com, and eventually the bot will learn that that's where I want to put it, and the bot will just do that for me. So the first time I might say I want to do that with it, and it will just prepare it, and then the second time the bot might actually do it for me, and then the third time the bot might say, hey, have you thought about this new platform? It could be something totally new that I've not even heard of yet. And the bots will start thinking for themselves. The bot might give me some great ideas for blog posts. But I think at the minute when we're like overwhelmed with all of this, hey, we need to put content here, here, here and here, you've kind of got it automated to a certain extent using tools like Buffer and Edgar and Hootsuite. But I think that's just going to explode as well and become much more interactive with the company, in that it positions content out there for you so that we're not constantly scratching our head thinking, oh my god, did I remember to go live? The robot might even remind me to go live, might even set the camera up for me. Who knows where it's going to go? But I just wanted to open your eyes to the possibilities of where it's going. Pop in the chat box whether you're excited about it or afraid of the bots coming. I'm a little bit of both, if I'm honest. I think the thing is to keep up with technology so that you know what's happening, so that we don't get left behind, and we can use it. It could be to our advantage in the future going forward. It could certainly save us, like I say, a lot of time and money as we move forwards. Like now, in a minute, we're going to go off for some lunch. Well, I'm sure there is something that could probably book a table for me, a bot system. But certainly, you know, I would imagine, God, within 2 years easily, I could just say, well, I'll probably have Alexa here. I need to get Alexa in my life, and say, oh, Alexa, in a minute I'll be going for lunch. Can you just book us in and just mention? And she'd do it for me. Whereas we're just going to get in the car and go and hope we can get in. We might ring the restaurant on the way, but I doubt it. We'll just rock up. But yeah, and also, like, she might say, oh, you know, where did you want to go? Here's a coupon. You can get a discount if you go here on a Tuesday. Because that's the kind of thing that bots do. Anything else that I want to say? Let me just check my notes for you. I think that's it. Because I'm not going to go, you know, I'm not a blooming expert when it comes to bot technology. I've built my bot, not named it. Very excited at the prospect of getting a bot husband. I would like have him there and first thing in the morning to say, oh, good morning, you're so beautiful, and I love you so much, and tell me all the nice stuff. And then I'd be like, that's great, whatever your name is, bot. I've got to go now because I'm off to work. And then when I come back, then I would switch him on for like 20 minutes and have a little chat, tell him how my day went. Obviously, I'd listen to him as well and hear how his day has been. But then I'd switch him off and, yeah, go to my Netflix. Whatever I'm watching that season. Just finished Suits, now into Mad Men. And there's 7 seasons. Oh my God. This could see me right through the summer. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them about bots. But yeah, I would just say keep an eye on the situation and think about how you can use bots in your business. And obviously in my blogs and everything, I'll be letting you know where to go to find out more. So ManyChat is the one that does the automation inside Facebook. It it probably does lots of other things as well. And Mitsuko chatbot. Please go and check out Mitsuko. I'm hoping she's still alive. Hope she hasn't died. Can you imagine that? She's already been proposed to several times. And she's like, well, she's not a bot and she's not human. She's kind of in between. So let me know when you've been and had a chat with her, what you think to her. She's your friend for life. Lovely to see you all. And yeah, if you have any messages, just pop them on the chat below and I'll get my bot to answer. No, I'll be here to answer them.